going on, guys? Logan JYA here, and I made you all a promise in my banless prediction video. I said when we get our boy Title back, I will be doing a Dragon Ruler deck profile. Well, Title has been legalized, which means I gotta pay up. So I'm gonna show you guys a pretty fun build of Dragon Rulers if you want to build a dragon-centric deck. Now, with them all being at one, having them be the full stars of the show on their own is proven to be a little bit challenging, so they got some friends in there to help them out. If you like this video, be sure to drop a like, comment down below what you want to see next, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. I assure you, for my Drytron enthusiasts, they're going to be coming back real soon. But without further ado, let's get into this profile, baby. Let's get to it. All right, party people, we are doing the Dragon Ruler deck profile as promised in my banless prediction video. Now, everyone, quick disclaimer, this is a for fun deck. If you're trying to go win a YCS, I wouldn't recommend playing Dragon Rulers. In fact, if you want to play Dragons, you're probably better off with those Tenpai guys, but we all know how beta male that strategy is. We're trying to be alphas out here by summoning our big-ass Dragon Rulers from 2013, okay? So if you're in here for a good time, just like me, then stick around and check out this profile, okay? Now, we do have some help in this package. You're gonna see it. Don't get mad at me and don't feel like you're gonna be priced out, okay? Because I encourage you all to try this deck out online. Just play it for fun, and if you happen to have these cards too, give it a shot. If you guys wanna see a budget build, let me know in the comments down below, and maybe we will make that happen as well. But without further ado, let's dive in. All right, homies, wouldn't be much of a Dragon Ruler profile if we weren't playing all of the Dragon Rulers. So we got one Blaster, one Title, one Tempest, and one Mighty Redox. I always thought that Redox was going to be the last boy they bring back, but it turns out they kept us waiting on Title. Title is the most recently legalized Dragon Ruler. I'll give you the TLDR on their secondary effects. They all have the same first and last ability, which is to summon themselves and bounce themselves back to hand. Blaster, pitch it in a fire, it's a pop. Title, pitch it in a water, it's a foolish. Tempest, pitch it in a wind, and it's a search for a dragon. And then Redox is Monster Reborn. That's the TLDR on their bonus effects, but they're all got the other effect of where they're summoning themselves when they're banished, they're searching, their same flavor. I think that's pretty much everything in terms of the quick rundown, but if you have any questions, let me know. And since this is a Dragon Ruler profile, that means we're playing the babies as well. This is a quick one. We're playing 2 of each, so that's 2 Burner, 2 Stream, 2 Lightning, and I'm running out of room here, so I'm just going to throw Reactin right down in the middle, baby. So that is your full squad of the secondary baby dragons. You pitch these and any other dragon monster, and you're going to be, or I should say, any other dragon and their respective attributes. So it doesn't got to be a dragon. You can pitch it and something that's an earth or a wind or a water or a fire, and you're going to be able to summon out your boys from the deck for free. For free. It's actually a double discard, so it's actually a -1. But you get to use them as materials in your grave as well, and it's a summon for the rulers that doesn't use their own effects. Moving on, we're playing the Mythic package, 1 copy of the tree, 1 copy of the water. This is, again, like I said, this is a fun build, so we're playing something a little retro. I think these guys came out, I can't exactly remember when. I think it was after the Dragon Rulers went to 1, and Mythic Rulers was a legitimate build because rank 8s were a big thing at the time. And guess what? We got some pretty crazy rank 8s in this game now as well, and I'm not gonna lie to you, we might be supporting them rank 8s a little bit more with this build, but there's another way to get into them. So you can search your water off of your Title, your tree off of your Redox. If you happen to banish them, those are different ways to access it, so it's a definite good option to play. Moving on, I've got 1 copy of the Starliege Seifert, and this kind of goes hand in glove with one of our other friends, that being Light and Darkness Dragon. I'm going to explain why real quickly. Keen eyes will probably guess that we are playing the Dragon's Ravine. I'm going to spoil that for you right now. Yes, we are. When we're foolish burialing our dragons, sending them off to the graveyard, one thing we can do is if we have a double dump, 2 ways to take a dump, we can send the Starliege and the Light and Darkness Dragon, use Starliege's effect engrave to add the lad back to hand. Now this is a little bit of a glorified stun deck. You're going to see that as we go through it, but this is one of those key plays that we want to keep access for. Last dragon we got in the main board is 1 copy of the Bestial Magnamut. Since we're playing a dragon deck, we are also playing that Hieratic Spheres in the extra, so we want to have some good targets that we can tag it out for. I think Bestial Magnamut certainly is a good one, since it gives you a free search for a dragon in the end phase, so that's our main reason for playing this guy. Alright guys, don't get mad and don't flame me. Here's our support squad, okay? Triple Yemseti, and 1 of each of the Horus names, okay? Don't get mad, everybody. I know they're not the cheapest in the universe right now. They're not as much as they used to be, but they're still a little pricey. Now, mind you, in many ways, these are a new iteration of our Dragon Rulers. They come back from grave for free, they got a whole plethora of different attributes, and they're pretty flippin' cool guys. but they're level 8s instead of level 7s. That's okay though, because like we were talking about earlier with our mythic guys, rank 8s are some pretty powerful extra deck monsters that we're going to be able to take advantage of. So this package going together with the mythics, as well as our ability to dump cards in the grave and taking advantage of them when they're in there, I think playing the Horus cards in with the Dragon Rulers makes a heck of a lot of sense. So we are maxing out the good boy being Yimseti, and we're playing one of each of the other names so we have instant rank 8 access and can easily push for game. You could call this a glorified or dumbed down Horus stun deck. I'd call you wrong because we're playing Dragon Rulers, baby, we're having a good time, but this is a powerful support engine that I encourage you to give a try to. Alright, that's it for the monsters. Let's move on to our spell cards. First one being our draw power, triple copies of the trade-in. The cool thing about playing all these level 8s, including our Light and Darkness Dragon, our Horus monsters, our Mythic Water, is that they are trade-in targets. We can throw them into the graveyard and get a free 2 cards. That's our main draw strat there. I mentioned this card earlier. We got our Dragon's Ravine, 3 of it. We can dump Dragon Rulers, Safer, and Lad. Whatever the need calls for, that's what we're going to be using this guy for. It's not the only field spell we're playing, though. I'm also choosing to play 1 copy of the Walls of the Imperial Tomb. This is another version of the King's Sarcophagus, but unlike King's Sarcophagus, it can also be searched with our Terraforming. So I'm choosing to play a secondary search target for the Terraforming. I'm not playing set rotation right now. I'm trying to keep it a clean 40 for consistency purposes. This is an old deck with old cards, so we want to be as consistent as we can be. I mentioned it earlier, so I'll just put it down next. We're playing 2 of the regular King Sark to go with our Horus package. Next spell cards, we got 1 copy of the Foolish Burial for a free send. You could also swap this. I said we're keeping it at a clean 40. If you wanted to kind of accomplish the same mission of getting access to a different dragon, you could also play the Gold Sarcophagus, which banishes 1 and gives you a search. That can give you a free Mythic Earth or Mythic Water if you need them. There's a lot of things you can do with that. But right now, I'm choosing to play the Foolish because it can also sub in for any of your Horus names. Next spells, we've got 2 copies of the Talent and 1 Called by the Grave, kind of our subjugant backup plan. If a baby dragon discard itself and you know, a fellow attribute or dragon gets ashed, it really blows. So having a way to either recover from it or cancel out that Ash Blossom is pretty good. And then the last card we play in the main, oh, this is gonna get people mad, but we're main decking triple skill drain, baby, okay? I did say glorified stun deck, maybe so, but one of the things this deck does better than any other is putting up big monsters that don't need their effects while they're on the field. The Dragon Rulers, oh, we don't need their effects. They're just big beat sticks. Same thing goes for our Horus guys. So we take the 2 of them, put them together, slap up a skill drain, flip off every single deck in the meta, and yeah, I think we're looking at a pretty good time. A good chunk of our strategy here, including using the Horus cards, is to dig for this skill drain and set up our big chunguses so we can clap down our opponent with those big bodies while keeping them locked under something like a skill drain or a Light and Darkness Dragon, something like that. But the fun doesn't end with the main deck. We've also got a nice little extra deck for you. Before we get into that, don't forget to check out the link in the description so you can get yourself some nice Logan JYA Field Centers. We still got Orchist ones. I think I got just a few Drytron ones left. We are got to be sold out and not re-upping on those, so if you want to get them, this can be your last chance. Now let's do our extra deck. First and foremost, you're going to have some tokens for your Draco Sack. Anyone who knows about Dragon Rulers from back in the day knows how cool of a card Draco Sack is in the strategy. Well, since Link Monsters exist now, he's still pretty good. So of course we are playing our big boy Draco Sack. This is the OG when it comes to Dragon Rulers. Back in the day, this guy was over $100 when the deck was in its prime. It is essential. Now nowadays, is it as important? Maybe not, but we can do cheeky things with it. In fact, we're taking a lot of plays out of the Cash Tira playbook with some of our other choices. The other rank 7 I'm choosing to play, and this one's for a little bit more the nostalgia purposes, is the number 11 Big Eye. These were your 2 main rank 7s during Dragon Rulers heyday. For the sake of this profile, I wanted to have them both in here. There are definitely some other slots that I could see myself playing over the Big Eye, so you can let me know in the comments down below what you would swap this out for, but for nostalgia's sake, guys, just let me have this one. Moving on there, let's get into the rank 8 squad. We're going to start with Exceeds this time. We got our Galaxy Photon Lord. Our Vampire, Zombie Vampire, for those free mills, give us access to either Horus monsters or our Dragon Rulers. 1 of the Titanic Galaxy, this gives you spell negates, but that can be pretty good, especially if we're trying to stop the opponent from outing things like our King Sarcophagus. And then finally, we've got our Coach King Giant Trainer. Now, I think this card is good. I like playing Jerry Trainer because he defends me from Dan Schneider. No, what it really does is it lets you draw, deep draw for your skill drain. That's the main reason why we're playing this guy, and he's another reason why the Horus cards are just so flipping good. Last Exceed that we play is the one copy of Zeus, Big Daddy Zeus. We play so many different Exceeds, there's no reason not to go and stick in our free board wipe when he comes up. And now we'll move on to the links. We got one copy of the Hieratic Seals. I told you earlier, this is one of those really good end board pieces that you can stick up in any dragon deck. No reason not to play it, and we do have the Magnum Mutt to tag it out into. And then for our Draco Sack aligned package, we've got the two copies of Link Spider as well as the Crystal Heart. This is the combo ripped straight from the Kashtira players. If you guys don't know this one, you can kind of just look up Draco Sack combos. It'll be pretty easy. I don't think there's any reason for me to reinvent the wheel. I haven't done anything transformative here. I've just put it into a different deck that can put up rank 7. So we're playing the two Link Spiders, the Crystal Heart, and to go along with it, we've got either the Heat Soul or the Apollosa, either one. And the last two Link monsters we play is the one expensive Little Knight and the Access Code Talker for closing out games, all right? So that's everything for the extra. Now I'm gonna close things out with the side deck real quick. You know, your results will vary. I say this every single time. Build your side deck for the meta of which you anticipate playing against. But first and foremost, we got triple copies of the Ash Blossom, generic hand traps. You know, we are siding out some of those going first cards, bringing in a lot of the hand traps. That's why you're gonna see a ton of them. But the first one is Ash, of course, for generic coverage, and especially against those branded betas, all right? We want to negate that branded fusion. Next, I'm doing this one, triple copies of the Ghost Ogre. People have been putting me on to the Ghost Ogre right now, given how good it is against things like Centurion, against the U-Bells, against fellow Horus enjoyers, against even some of the fire variants, like hitting off that Fire King Island. Yeah, you're going to see some serious applicability with our Ghost Ogre. And of course, the other dragon deck, the beta male dragon deck, those Tempais, we got to knock off their field spells. So of course, we're siding triple the Ogre for that as well. For our Build-A-Board friends, oh, we got them covered. Triple copies of the Lava Golem, just like we were doing back in the Drytron days. The reason why we play it here in Dragon Rule is, number one, our normal summon is not that important. And number two, this is a level 8 that we can potentially pitch with our trade-in. Make a little room here to move on for our next guys. We got two copies of the Phantasme. That's right, I got the super ugly gold rare and the OG artwork. Bing chilling in here. Can't wait for this guy to get the reprint with some less ugly rarity. But yes, two Phantasmes. They are level 7 dragons as well. Something you can tag your seals into theoretically. And oh my gosh, that targeting protection can be quite good, as well as those deep draws to get you into plays. Up next, I've got one copy of the Quackimero Draco. Now, this is, again, another card you can theoretically summon off of your seals in the matchups where knocking out those light and dark monsters is pretty pivotal. Yeah, you're going to want to bring this guy in. I see no reason not to. You could even make a case that you could jack this guy up to 3 and have him be another alternative normal summon strategy if you want to stay committed to a stun dragon strategy. And then the final cards in our side deck are to blow out those back rows. We got two copies of the Cosmic Cyclone for that strategic removal, and the one HFD Harpy's Feather Duster, as dank as it can be. Everyone, that is it for this Dragon Ruler deck profile. Now listen, before you flame me and say, Logan, this ain't Dragon Rulers, you just took a bunch of Horus cards and stuck them in with some dragons. I want you to do a head count first and let me know how many of the cards in this deck are dragons before you leave that comment. And second most, I want you to give it a try. This is a fun deck and you're going to have a good time while you're playing it. Now, you're going to beat all those tier 1 meta contenders all the time. No, you're probably not. But you will be stealing games. You may even be stealing matches. And you're going to be surprised and say, oh shit, Logan was right. This is a pretty good time. So if you want to have fun like me, give this Dragon Ruler deck a try. Let me know how you enjoy it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next one. Logan JYA signing off. Have a great day, and I'll see you beautiful people later. Peace!